I'm Matt Harting. I'm an assistant professor in Department of Pediatric Surgery, so I'm a pediatric surgeon. And, um, and gosh, I've been around the campus since 1999 when I was a medical student, finishing in 2003. And then went on to do my surgery training and pediatric surgery training at other places around the country, and then came back because for me, Texas is home. And growing up in the Austin area and then being here for medical school, this was an easy place to come back to. I first came here as a medical student, or actually to interview as a medical student, and it rained a lot when I was coming from my interview. Like, I actually had to cancel my first interview day because nobody could get to the school. And I thought, I don't know what kind of omen this is, but I came back from my interview and was just so impressed with the medical center, so impressed with the institution, so impressed with the students and the way the students interacted with each other. And I called some alumni, which I did at every medical school that I interviewed at, and you really got the honest truth about a place when you talked to folks that had been through and then had gone on to seek residencies and and jobs. And the responses that I got were so powerful, from folks that had been at what at the time was, the University of Texas Medical School at Houston, now McGovern. It really impressed me, and it really left me with the idea that they were not only professionally ready, but they had such strong personal friendships and relationships, both with the faculty and with their classmates. I felt like that was an institution I wanted to be a part of, and seated in the heart of the medical center, what better place, to develop relationships and to learn how to practice medicine. So I returned because my wife made me, but no, the reality is, and naturally that story all starts at the medical school at Retreat. I met my wife, who was a year behind me in medical school. And so for me, the school has been such a strong part of my professional life. It's where we get our start and where I was inspired to go into the field that I'm in today in pediatric surgery. But it also was where my personal life had such a dramatic change, where I met my wife and we started our life together. And when we looked for jobs toward the end of our training, there was just so much comfort in coming back to Texas and again being in the medical center and being a part of a place that was so special. And then to be able to get back to a medical school that I felt like has given so much to me was just an easy and fun and exciting opportunity. The memories always from our medical school always start with Retreat. And so Retreat for me has been not only my own retreat, but then the retreat we were able to put on for the class behind us. And that was, again, a time when I met my wife. And then to be able to come back to subsequent retreats and see the energy in the students that are rising to the second year and the new incoming students who are just, embarking on a new path into medicine. Really, that's a very, very powerful thing for me, and Camp Allen for me will always be something that will be very powerful. My memories of Henry Strobel and the first time that we met and got to work together. So many things about the school are entwined in Retreat, and it just is an unbelievably special start to medical school for everybody that has walked these halls. Developing the relationship that I have with my wife that all kind of came around in medicine, and so many of the friendships that I have that I've continued on today that began in medical school. Those are the things that are the most powerful to me. One of the things that actually was one of the most challenging times in medical school that stands out for me was with Tropical Storm Allison, when the medical school flooded. That was as I was rising from my second year into my third year, so rising from the basic science and classroom lecture component of medical school into the clinical component, and walking into the Leather Lounge, which was completely underwater, and seeing the devastation in the medical school is really, really tough. But I think in those tough times you realize the resilience of the school and how people from my class and the classes below and above rallied to to not only help to sort of restore the school, but to kind of keep things going and then move through that phase and move through all the renovations that made such a difference with our recent floods. And you didn't have the same, challenges that were back then. So I think in some of those dark times, the character of the school really emerged and folks really stuck together, and it became, something where we took such a difficult thing and made it into a special thing, and now I think has made our school that much better. As a faculty member, as compared to a student, I think that your perspective and your prism for viewing the school certainly changes a little bit. As a student, I think you're trying to soak things up, and you develop these relationships and mentors, and you start to sort of find your footing in medicine. And then as a faculty member, you have this just unbelievable opportunity to give that back and to see that excitement in the students' eyes, and to collaborate, and to feel like instead of taking from the school, which I think you do as a student a lot, you take so much that you start to have the opportunity to give that back. And that's the most, that's the special part about being on faculty at a medical school. It's amazing to take care of patients. It's amazing to be able to care for people in a certain way, but it's even more special to be able to pass that on to somebody else, and to be able to take the next generation, see their excitement, teach them in ways that you recall being taught in these same very locations, in the same halls, in the same rooms, and it's a lot of fun to see their interest in in medicine really blossom and grow. The medical school has had an unbelievable impact on me, from first starts to a profession that has given me everything, the opportunity to do what I think for me has been a dream, and in my personal life, the beginning of the relationship and my family and everything that's special there. So everything that's meaningful to me really is surrounded and has roots in the medical school. To be able to make an impact on something that's been so impactful on you is really difficult. So hopefully I'm just starting that journey. But I think through not only passing on hopefully my excitement and my passion for medicine to other medical students, and then doing the research that we do and trying to leave an impact with the patients that we take care of. I think that's what we all hope to do, and so I'm at the beginning of that. And if I can make 1/10 the impact on the medical school that the medical school has had on me, then I'll have done all right. I'm most proud that I was able to make it through medical school and go on to get a job. But that's a tough one. I think for me, the medical school has been so positive for me, and has really allowed me the opportunity to do so many incredible things. I'm proud that I was just able to be a part of that, right? Just one small part of the history of our school. And I guess I have the rest of my lifetime to create something that I can be proud of, that I can give back. In the setting of the Texas Medical Center and in Houston, Texas, this is a pretty incredible place to be located. And I can't imagine a place with more opportunity. It's been fun to watch the medical school grow, even from where it was when I was a medical student, and it's been neat to see it grow in every capacity that you can imagine. But I hope that we keep the very personal nature of our school and the things that drew me there originally, the very, I think, genuine feel that starts at retreat and that carries on. And as we continue to grow and look to make more impact in the way we educate and in the way we take care of patients, I hope that we keep that, that very sincere sort of relationship-focused and mentor and mentee-centric type feel that it's always had for me.